Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my animal spirituality video for Tuesday, January the 21st. Hope you're doing well on this Tuesday morning. Here in the Northeast, we got some snow yesterday, probably about 5 inches or so, way more than we've gotten in a long time. But it's winter, and today it's brutally cold out. Just like to say that anytime these things happen, it puts an attention on what's going on in our life, and it should. But there's always somebody in more difficult situations. Still the wildfires in California, still the people who are living in tents in North Carolina. And then right here, I mean, we're fortunate. We have our house and we have our dogs. Now, this morning, we went outside as we always do, and Paisano doesn't realize that it's snow and it's cold. So, after being out there for a little while, doing what he had to do, he started to cry because his paws were so cold. So, we carried him in the house. He's lucky, right? That there's so many homeless animals out there that are not getting carried into a house. So it's always our mind should be in a place where we are looking out for others. We are trying to offer them prayers, doing what we can, offering what we can to help, especially in difficult circumstances which go on all the time. So today I want to give you just a little bit more appetizers, if you will, on God and animals. I'd like to talk about two things that are connected, as most things are in the Bible. First and foremost, we're going to talk about very briefly the book of Genesis, the creation story, if you will, where God makes sure that we know in Scripture, in the book of Genesis, that He breathes life into animals and humans very similar, the same way, actually. So whenever we are asked, gee, do animals have souls? Or first of all, God says he made everything and called it good. He created all and called it good. So all means humans and animals together. And when he breathes life and created us by breathing his life into our life, animals and humans, how is it that animals do not have a soul? They do. More on this in the coming weeks and months because I believe it's very important for us to have this foundation. And I will talk about specifics in the book of Genesis. Have this foundation to realize why we need to be more respectful and compassionate to animals. And then when you fast forward, if you will, to the New Testament, Jesus hung around with the animals, right? He kind of talked stories about them, which meant he probably knew them very well, and he knew very gentle creatures that were created by God way before he walked the earth. But it's important to note that he did hang around with gentle beings, doves, very gentle. Doves mate for life, but doves are exploited and treated very badly in many circumstances. Shouldn't they offer more compassion and love and respect to them? Yes, we should. Jesus, the shepherd, talks about sheep. We have to assume that he knew them intimately. Sheep are so gentle, beautiful beings. They try their best to trust. They have a little bit of distrust, but only because they recognize danger. They don't walk away because they're shy. They walk away sometimes because they recognize that it could be dangerous for them. When you get to know them, they are beautiful beings. But did you know that over 2 million sheep are killed every day for food and clothing? And ripping off their fur to create clothing is not something that they want to do, especially if they're in cold temperatures. And it's very painful. And finally, donkeys. Jesus rode in towards his cross in Calgary on the back of a donkey. He recognized them as the beings that they are. They are not stubborn. They are smart. They know when they're being brought into a situation where they're going to be overburdened, and they are in many situations around the world. They're smart. They resist. It's not being stubborn, it's being smart. And they're gentle, beautiful beings who love to cuddle around each other and love human companionship when it's offered with love. They too are exploited. They too are treated horribly around the world. What can we do? Well, I'll tell you what we can do. We can band together. We can band together and each day appreciate just a little bit more the creation story, which is in Genesis, and realizing that all these animals have souls just like we do, and realize that Jesus spent his time in many, if all not all situations, caring for these beautiful beings and surrounding himself with the most gentle and loving ones that he could. And we can do the same thing, especially when we are in a situation where we need spiritual nourishment. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Tuesday. As always, I hope it was helpful. I always welcome your comments and your thoughts, and I always appreciate you being here with me. I really have this belief that together, as we continue to build a community of believers, that we will all reach down deep, do more for animals, but in doing so, they will be doing so much for us, teaching us spiritual lessons and bringing a richness to our life that we never thought we would have. I want to wish you all a wonderful Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Thursday for a scripture reflection. Take care.